The joy of playing these Dune games over here in 2D has been great so far. But now we're going to go to the next level. We're going to go into the realm of 3D games. So we're going to take a look at all of these 3D games and experience them in a new way of playing video games at the time. And will they be better than the 2D games over here? Well, stick around and find out. Now the game here, Dune 2000, was made in 2D, but the PlayStation wanted the game to their console, and at the time, PlayStation 1 was known for being a 3D game console. So they took the game, changed it, and made it into a 3D game. So we're gonna now try this game and see if it's any better in 3D. Let's check it out. Now the PlayStation also has the same cinematic videos from the Dune 2000 2D games.
Be very persuasive.
Alright, let's play this. Now I hope it's not gonna be just like the Sega Genesis version. And this is it, Dune 2000 in 3D. Okay, this is a little different, playing on a controller in a 3D environment. Okay, how do I select? Come on, how do I select up there? Okay, I got it.
New construction options. Harvester
Okay,
attack.
just got to select. And come on.
Commander.
Building. Mission complete.
Oof. Now that was hard playing with this game controller here. Let's try another one just to be sure. And loading. Now I'm not complaining about the 3D graphics here. As long as it is executed well, then I have no problems with it. After getting further into the game, I can now build lots of units. Okay, just gonna select all of them.
Commander.
And then take them down here. Navigating around with a game controller is really hard.
Let's go.
Unit lost.
Order confirmed.
It's too hard playing on a game controller like this one here. You're supposed to use a mouse when it comes to strategy games. Every strategy game that came to a game console has been dumbed down just so it's possible to play on a game controller like this here.
Hi! Did you know that PlayStation actually made a mouse for the PlayStation?
Wow, this is much better. The smoothness is much better. It's much easier to select all units instead of using this game controller here.
Let's go.
Your mission is a failure.
No, this game on a PlayStation is a failure. I wish they told me this in the beginning, then I didn't have to use this controller here. Okay, I didn't look in the manual, but then again, who does? We just want to get straight into the game and play it. I didn't even know they made a mouse for the PlayStation. How did you know that I needed a mouse for the PlayStation? 3D wasn't ready for this yet, but who knows? Maybe there's still hope, because you see, in 2001, a new Dune game was made, and it's called Emperor Battle for Dune. And looking at this cover art, and behind it with the gameplay pictures, it seems to be very promising looking, and Westwood Studios is behind this game. You know what? Why don't we just try it and see if it's worthy of our time? One thing is certain, the animation and the graphics are much smoother than the old ones.
House Atreides of the Waterworld Caladan. The Atreides army is well trained and loyal to the Duke.
Now this game here also contains lots of cinematic videos. For every mission we complete, we get a cinematic video. So we're going to skip this intro and get straight into the game.
Welcome, Commander, to your new posting on Arrakis. This planet is the center of power in the burgeoning conflict between the great houses of the Landsraad. This conflict will determine the future of Duke Achilles and the future of the great House Atreides. The enemy approaches. Kill the enemy.
Now I like they added day and night to this game. So for every mission we play, it could be daytime or nighttime.
As his destiny warrants, the enemy is on the attack.
And here a worm appears. The lightning is a nice touch.
Extra forces are arriving, Commander.
Additional space required. New construction options are now available. Construction started. Construction started.
Now I do like when it shows a red line where the units are going to attack or move.
Unit lost. Victory is yours.
Now this was the first mission, which is a good test to see how this game is played.
So, the desert sands have not swallowed you whole yet.
The enemy has captured the Fremen. They will interrogate and torture them, then put them to death. You must rescue them and return them to their tribe.
Now this is one of the things I like about this game. Just like Dune 2000, you can build your base onto any land where the land is made of rock, except you can't build on the sand. Now the best place to build your base is where the enemies have a hard time getting to it.
Construction options are now.
Now like every strategy game, time is not on your side, so we have to build quickly. So gather as much spice as you can, so you can build more.
Construction started. Construction started.
Now adding a storm into this game is a nice touch. Now the storm will destroy anything in its path.
Construction started. Unit lost. Worm side.
Let's go.
Victory is yours.
Now the nice thing is, just like the original Dune 2, this one also gives you the ability to build new things in every new mission.
Game loaded.
Yes, sir. Let's go.
And this here is the single mission. Here you don't get to build anything. This is where you just go around to checkpoints. Either you have to capture a building or rescue a special character. And this is one of the things I hate most about games that do this, like Command & Conquer, Red Alert, and StarCraft. Maybe someone out there likes this, but me, I just want to build stuff. So, we're gonna skip this mission and go straight to the next mission.
Worm side.
Now in this mission, we have to protect some vehicles which are traveling through the desert towards your base. But there are new characters that infect the vehicles and your troops. And if they get infected, they will start to attack you too. And the worm makes an appearance and will destroy anything in its path.
One of the vehicles has been unloaded.
Let's go. Yes, sir.
Now, for the most part, the game was okay, but I wasn't quite enjoying myself when I was playing this game. You know, it was how the units were moving and how I was building stuff and how the enemies were coming to me. You know, it didn't have the same vibe as Dune 2000 or Supreme Commander for that matter. It's a little hard to explain what it is. When this game came out, I'm sure it was seen as amazing graphics and gameplay, and it was in 3D. But I don't see myself playing this game again. Now, one of the things I really liked in the video game was the cheesy cinematic video clips.
There has been a security breach. Several of my guards were murdered and replaced by FaceTime.
I've not seen you before.
No, I've only just arrived.
Welcome.
A face dancer assassin.
You must bring them back. Don't fail. This could spell doom for us all.
That's so funny. Now, at the time this game was made, there was another company who also was making a Dune game, and they called it Frank Herbert's Dune. Will this do any better? Let's check it out.
To fully appreciate the inevitable unfolding of events, one must begin by placing the events in time. The year is 10,191.
We're gonna skip the intro and get straight into the game. The game starts right after the Harkonnens has successfully taken over the palace. Paul and Jessica has escaped and reached the deep desert and crashed the vehicle they were flying in.
But the man who will become known as Muad'Dib has already begun to shape his fate. His mission is to round up the Fremen, a people tucked away in the desert who stand up to the Harkonnen. Through them, Paul will regain his kingdom and avenge his family.
Mother, don't untie your distiller. It will recycle your body's own water much more effectively. It's all we have. I can see Fremen settlements.
Can you smell something strange?
That's one of the sandworms. It's close by. If we step on the sand, it will detect us. I'm going to look for the thumper. It'll put the worm off our scent.
Why is he explaining it to her like she's 2 years old?
Mother, I'm going to find the thumper. Wait here.
Now let's see what the game can do for us. Well, that was easy.
Time is against us. We must hurry.
I'll follow you. We must get to the Fremen site. Time is running out.
I can't wait to explore this huge world here. I wonder what this game has in store for us.
Mother, your steps are too even. You'll give us away. Try to avoid the areas of dark spice. They slow you down.
I don't like this place.
Why is there a cutscene every 10 seconds?
Fear not, as long as we can hear the thumper. Come on, quick!
Now, for some reason, they have locked the camera, so I can't see where I'm running to. And of course, I run into the dark sand, which is spice. And that slows you down, and you slowly start to sink. Well, I guess I died. Now take a wild guess of how many times I've died here. A lot. Now eventually I do find a way out of this, after dying 1,000 times. And of course we get another cutscene.
Look at the pretty picture, nephew. A bull of extraordinary strength has flattened Paul's grandfather. I, the most powerful man in the Empire, have...
This goes on and on, so we're gonna skip this.
The Fremen know that the most ferocious storms can be traced to the nethermost regions of the desert. Sometimes a harmless gentle breeze on the sand can...
Now I'm beginning to see a pattern here. So far, we haven't played much of this game. It's like watching a movie where you're sometimes allowed to point where the story should go. But there is so much talking and talking and talking. And the camera is moving towards their faces, which is a little weird and creepy.
I believe the Chinese is looking into that.
Now eventually, when they're finished talking, I finally get to do something. Now take a wild guess of what I have to do now. That's right, more talking.
Kalu, how was your trip to the
Our
siege?
movements to avoid Harkonnen reconnaissance patrols.
I get tired of all this talk, so I just left and started exploring the place, only to discover more talking.
Action of the jammer in disrupting the harvester's transmission. Subach hul kahar, Hara?
Well enough to know that you've come to parrot my pots, Paul.
Little sister?
Whatever you may think, I am not a little baby. Remember, I was in Mother's womb when she drank the water. I share all the knowledge of the succession of Fremen Bene Gesserit mothers, hers included, Big Brother. Given the scope of what I know, I could easily call you Little Brother.
That was creepy and disturbing.
Paul, did you have one of those awakening dreams?
Mother, I know we've already talked briefly of these visions. Johnny?
I think the people who made this game forgot something very important here.
Beginning to grow. We'll soon have a
Good
true...
a judge of character as your father was.
Finally, we can start playing this game. Let's see what we can do here and where we can go. Oh look, someone's there. Now it appears that we have a knife and a gun.
Oh!
You're dead.
And I died. Eventually I killed the guard and I climbed up these stairs, and we just have to figure out where we should go. Take your time, Paul. We can wait. Oh look, a timer. I really hate these things. I suppose we have to be stealthy here, like Hitman. For every time the enemy shoots at me, I can't move for a second. I got shot multiple times, and then I can't move, and then I die. At this point, I really didn't care about this game anymore. I wasn't enjoying myself, and the gameplay was really clunky playing throughout the game, and it's more of a movie than a video game. Now, the 3D graphics looks terrible of course, but it can work if you do it the right way. Like, take this game for instance. Star Wars: Shadow of the Empire. Now its graphics had the same style as the Dune game. The difference is, it was executed the right way, and this was fun playing. And that game was released in 1997, where this Dune game here was released in 2001. Now I don't know what the budget was or how much time they had to make this video game. Or maybe the team didn't have enough experience in making 3D video games at the time. And it was the beginning of 3D video games coming out. So maybe that is one of the reasons. Maybe. But unfortunately, I cannot recommend this game to anyone. Now we wouldn't see another Dune game for a very long time, but there was one Dune board game that came out 2020, and they decided to make that into a video game, and they called it Dune Imperium. And this game came out 2023. Now looking at how this game is played, and you can play with your friends online, and that's a good thing. Now I know there are lots of people who like to play these types of games here, but unfortunately, this is not for me. But there was another company who also was working on a Dune game, and that one came out 2022, and it's called Spice Wars.
The steady hand of my Duke, governing a confident workforce. A plentiful house Atreides, gracefully withstanding the red winds of this land we spilled. Rivals will surround this prosperous...
Now the game does look interesting, and the graphics are top-notch. Now the game might be overwhelming with so much text to read in this game. Now this game here is very different compared to the other Dune games. So you have to have an open mind if you go into this game. The game is only on Xbox and Windows.
On this day begin the Spice Wars.
Maybe one day I'll play that game. Now, there is another Dune game, they're still in development, and it still hasn't come out yet. And the footage I've seen so far looks very promising.
You cling to life. You find others, friends. You wander the dry, dirty streets of civilization. Spice. You do all of these things in my dream, sleeper.
Now this Dune Awakening game, it looks interesting, doesn't it? And this is an MMO game. And I think this is actually a game I like to try out, but I'm gonna wait until the game comes out so I can see how the gameplay is. It's gonna be a while until this game comes out, so we have to be patient as always. And so we come to the end of this episode. So what's left of the Dune universe? Well, we haven't discussed anything about the toys or any of the card games and all of the merchandise there's out there. And this was to give the young people a chance to see how we experienced Dune games in the 80s and in the 90s when we were kids ourselves. And one of the interesting thing is, every country experienced Dune differently, just like we do here in Denmark. It is amazing that we have all of this now, and it all came from one person's imagination who just wanted to write a science fiction book. And created this book here, Dune, made by Frank Herbert. So what does the future hold for Dune now? Well, only time will tell. I'll see you on the next episode and may Shai Halud be with you.
But understand this. During this conflict, and following it, no matter what the outcome, the spice must flow. This council is ended. The war begins.
It has never ended. Arrakis lies at the hub of the universe. Once more, the wheel is poised to turn.